Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. I'm going to show you how to make these wooden lanterns. Welcome back to my tiny workshop. Now to start making these lanterns, I picked up some cedar fence pickets at the big box store. These were a little under $4 for a 6-foot picket. So you can keep the face of them rough if you like that look. I'm going to send them through my thickness planer and just clean up the faces so they're nice and smooth. So let's start with that process right now. And this is what the board looks like when it's all plain. So one of these boards is going to yield 2 wooden lanterns. I'm going to show you how. We're going to now cut these on the table saw on the crosscut sled, and we're going to rip them to the final width. So I'm sure my struggle is a lot like everyone else's struggle. Your shop is just too small, and this is the space that I have to work in. So I kind of make do. I just set up the table saw and my crosscut sled. I use the SawStop job site table saw. I wanted the feature of the safety mechanisms, the flesh sensing technology, so if I did by accidentally touch the blade when it was running, I know I would keep all these digits. I'm going to cross cut each of these pieces to 9 inches long. So what I'll do is I'll clean up the end and set up a stop block so I get repeatable cuts at 9 inches. So I like to cross cut all my pieces to final length. So out of one board, you'll cut 6 pieces to 9 inches long. I accidentally made a mistake here and cut 7 pieces out of this board. So luckily I was able to redeem myself. There was enough stock where I could still get 2 pieces at 6.5 inches long. You can see I moved the stop block to cross cut those pieces to 6.5 inches long. The next step was to set up the table saw fence and rip the pieces to final width. You can see here where the boards are a little bowed. The safest way to run them through the table saw is to have the crown side up so they didn't wobble. So here I'm just cutting the side pieces to 2 5/8 inches wide. I made a quick little push block out of some scrap wood. It has a hook on it. This way I can apply downward pressure, and the hook allows me to push the board through the cut without getting my hand close to the blade. And then I'll cut the top pieces to 4 5/8 inches wide. This is so the top will have equal overhang over the front, back, and the sides. So I'm just doing a quick little mock-up so you guys can see how they're assembled. Anyone else see the bear face in those knots? I thought it looks like the Berenstain Bears. So I have all these pieces processed. I did 3 pickets, and I have our front, I have our back pieces. I did our top pieces, and these are all of our sides. So we have 6 lanterns being made in this one run. They're pretty quick to process. If you had a flow going on, you can make a ton of these in one day. I will say that I chose the nicest clear boards for the front panel because I didn't want knots. Knots are a little harder to go through with the laser. You might have to bump the power up. They might fall out. You just might not get the results that you're expecting. So out of all the boards, I ended up picking through and choosing the clear ones for the front panel. The back panel can have a little bit of knots in it, and the side panels. The other thing to watch out for is if you're cutting through a knot on the table saw, just be careful. Those knots can become loose and become projectiles. So just be aware when you're cutting through, what you're cutting through, and just wear proper safety gear. I'm actually going to cut out the front panel using my laser. Some of you guys don't have a laser, and that's understandable. You can use a scroll saw, you can use a CNC if you have one, jigsaw. Depends on, you know, how much work you want to put into these things. There's multiple ways to do it. So let's go pick out some designs and cut it out on the laser. So I'm using the Xtool Creative Space software. I purchased a bunch of jack-o'-lantern designs online
And all I'm doing is resizing and moving the face around so it fits inside the board. It only took a few minutes to cut one jack-o'-lantern. Assembly time. I like to use Titebond 3. It holds really well and is waterproof, so you can put these lanterns outdoors. I only put a small bead of glue. I wanted to minimize glue squeeze out, and these boxes aren't really structural. They're just more decorative, so I'm really not worried about these falling apart. And I'm just shooting a few brad nails in each piece just to hold them together until the glue sets.
Okay, what do you guys think? It took me about 22 minutes to assemble 6 of these. This is a quick project that you can get done in an afternoon and batch a bunch of these things out if you have the right tools. It's been on my wife's honey-do list for a while now, and I'm just now getting around to it, so better late than never. Let me know what you guys think of the final product. If you guys like this content, remember to smash that thumbs up button and remember to subscribe so you don't miss more future content of videos of my wife and me traveling, eating, and making more projects. I just want to put this out there just so you guys don't have accidents at home. Go get these LED votive lights. They're pretty inexpensive, they're safe, and they're pretty bright, and the ones that we got are color changing ones. These lanterns are made of cedar, they're pretty dry, and they will ignite easily. So be on the safe side, get some votive lights. Ta-da!